It has put us just through hell. There's just no other way to say it.
The only thing really unusual about what happened in Flint is that the agencies responsible got caught.
America is working hard in projects around the world to ensure that communities have got access to safe drinking water, which makes it all the more shocking that scientists in this country say millions of Americans are drinking water every day that may be poisoning them. They say that what happened in Flint in Michigan may just be the tip of a massive iceberg. Before she even knew about the lead poisoning, Kerry Weber recalls her shock when she took her daughter to the hospital.
They showed me parts of her scan that you could see the bone like in her wrist, and there was literally a line that was not calcified bone, and it was lead, and they were everywhere.
It's thought that high lead levels caused a spike in Legionnaire's disease, infertility, miscarriages, growth abnormalities in unborn children, and behavioral problems, among many other serious effects. It started when the town wanted to save money, so it stopped taking water from the system in neighboring Detroit and switched to water from the Flint River, which was so contaminated it reacted with the lead in the city's water pipes. Flint has now switched back its water supply and is finally replacing lead pipes. But people in this town are scarred by what happened.
I don't think it's safe because the piping is contaminated. The main water line is contaminated. The lines in the house is contaminated. Your hot water heater is contaminated. If your refrigerator hooked up to it, it's contaminated.
So when they tell you it's safe and you can drink the water, what do you say?
I'm not going to drink it. I will buy my water.
But one of the scientists who discovered Flint's high lead levels says this is not a local scandal, but a national crisis.
It actually elevated the blood lead of children in most cities where this kind of crime, and I believe it's a crime, is occurring. No one looks at the blood lead of children to see if there's a problem.
So this may very well be happening in other parts, or you would know.
I can guarantee you this is happening in other parts of the country, other cities.
In fact, water's been found to contain even more poisonous lead levels than in Flint in dozens of towns around the country. And it's happening like it did in Flint because of money.
We have not accepted in this country that water, affordable, safe drinking water, is a basic human right. And if you can't afford to get clean, safe water, that's just your tough luck.
Hey, Judy, I'm Mark. So good to see you.
I have to conclude it's a culture of corruption at many of our government agencies, starting with the US EPA and extending down to the environmental policemen that are at the state level.
I pushed the button with the false assurance that the city's water, was meeting those standards, and this is now, 4 years ago, and I've learned a lot since then.
How many waters? We give you up to 5.
So we needed to do more. I needed to do more at the local level to bring in independent expertise, people who didn't have an adherence to these old standards.
And families have toxic water most in communities where so many don't have a voice.
Flint is poor, very poor. We didn't matter. And it destroyed every Flint resident. To hear that, you're looking at your kid go through this, or your spouse, or 100,000 people, and knowing that none of them mattered enough. Yeah, that's really hard to take.